Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to Maximize Travel and Minimize Cost. My name's Jeremy. I'm a frequent traveler and I'm really good at finding cheap flights. And I'm going to go ahead and try to help you do the same. So today's video is going to be all about Google Flights, which in my opinion is the second most powerful flight search tool, but certainly the most user-friendly one out there at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through the general layout of the site. I'm going to go through an example and show you some of the unique capabilities that Google Flights offers. So to give you some background, Google Flights, as you can see, gives you a lot of different search options. And what's really nice is it compiles the flight prices from almost every major airline in the world. So you don't have to go to multiple sites to go ahead and find those cheap flights. The one airline that is not included in Google Flights that you may not think about is Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines often does have very cheap prices, especially for domestic travel, but unfortunately they don't allow their prices to be shown on any site other than their own. So you do want to go ahead and use their site if you think that you may be able to find cheaper prices with them. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of describe this general layout here. You're able to go ahead and toggle different things here for if you want round trip or one way, how many passengers you have, the class of service, and then obviously your very basic origin, destination, and dates. Google Flights also gives you some suggested trips and the costs. These are often just kind of randomly chosen destinations based on your search history. So clearly I've been very interested in Morocco lately and southern Spain. So those are the options it's giving me at the moment. Google Flights also has a map that you're able to just explore general prices if you don't really have a destination in mind but want to go somewhere. And it's also going to let you track some prices. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that as well. So one interesting thing is that when you're choosing the destinations, you can go ahead and enter an airport code like LAX, or you can type in the city, like Los Angeles. Or what's really cool is that, say I want to go to Washington, D.C., where there are several airports in the area. If I see Washington, D.C. here, this is actually going to include the 3 major Washington, D.C. airports in the search. So if you don't really care where you're flying into exactly, it's going to give you all of those options listed in one search, which makes it much easier to find the cheap flights. So let's go ahead and walk through a typical example. A lot of people want to visit Europe, so let's say we want to go from Phoenix to Amsterdam. The code is going to be AMS, and you can see that's populated right here. So I can go ahead and select that, and we'll go ahead and leave these dates, October 21st through October 25th. Go ahead and hit search here, and as you can see, there are a lot of different little toggles here. I'll go through those in a moment, but the main thing you'll see is that we have 2 sets of flights listed. We have our best departing flights, which is usually chosen based on the amount of time within the travel and price as well. As you can see here though, the best priced flight actually is listed under other departing flights. So you want to make sure you go through and look at all of your options before you go ahead and just choose the one at the top here. What's very nice to see is that a lot of airlines are included. We have Alaska, Icelandair, United, SAS, Delta, and KLM. So we have many, many different options. So let's go ahead and take this lowest priced flight. $1,531 is not an amount I would ever pay to go to Amsterdam, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it just to see here. So what's nice is you can go ahead and toggle this switch here, and it's going to go ahead and show you all the important information. It'll show you legroom, different amenities on the flight. It'll also give you information on flight times, whether something is overnight, potential delays, though I wouldn't take these extremely seriously. A lot of these flights say often delayed by 30 plus minutes, but oftentimes in practice they really aren't. So don't worry too much about those. It is important to look into those though. It'll also give you the locations of layovers and the length of time as well. So you can see airlines and plane types, flight numbers, just about everything you'd need to make an informed flight decision. So if we go ahead and select this cheapest flight, and then we see we have two options actually for the flight home. Go ahead and just select this top one here. It's going to bring us to the trip summary page, which is going to show basically that expanded information here, where it has all the different flight information and just about everything you would need to know if this is the type of flight you'd want to be taking. It's also going to have this handy baggage info section. Nowadays, with basic economy and different airlines offering different services, sometimes a carry-on or checked bags aren't actually included in the fare. So this baggage info will give you that information, including a link to the airline's website as well. So we can go up here and we can go ahead and see this track prices tool is here. So we can go ahead and just enable that. And that's actually going to save it over to the tracked prices section over here. And then we'll also get email alerts and travel tips. So we can see if the flight price changes and know if it's better to buy in the future or not. It's also going to give us a link to book with Turkish Airlines in this case. If we select this option, it'll link us directly to the Turkish Airlines website where we'll be able to complete the purchase of this. For most airlines, it automatically brings you to the payment and passenger information page, which is really nice. You don't have to go through and go and re-choose the flights. So circling back really quick, we can go ahead and talk about all of these little options it offers. So on this little tab of all these gray options here, we can go ahead and choose if we need bin access, the number of stops. So in this case, there are no nonstop flights, but if we only wanted to make one stop, we can select that. It'll also let us choose the airlines and alliances. So if I really don't want to fly on Icelandair, I can go ahead and unselect that. Or if I only want to fly Delta, I can just select that. It'll also let you adjust it by price, but as you can see, the lowest price is always listed in green, so you shouldn't need to use that too much. It'll let you revise it by times. So if you need to leave or arrive at a certain specific time of day, you're able to do that there. You can also edit it by layover duration and connecting airports. So if for some reason I don't want to connect through Paris, I can go ahead and deselect that. Or if I love connecting through Atlanta, I can choose to only connect there. There's also this more tab where we can edit it by flight duration, because as you can see, we have a 12-hour duration here, but then a 27-hour duration there. So if we really don't want to have a 27-hour travel day, we can use this to go ahead and take care of that. The other really nice thing Google Flights allows is the separate tickets option. Sometimes it's a lot cheaper to go ahead and book flights outbound on one airline and then the return on a different airline under completely separate tickets. Google Flights is capable of showing us those options, but if you're uncomfortable with not booking a round trip ticket, you are able to go ahead and hide the separate ticket options as well. Perhaps more importantly are these flight insight tables. So we have tips where it just gives you options to book flights and hotels, or just other information that might help you with making your travel decisions. It'll also let you compare prices for airports near Amsterdam. So in this case, that would be like Brussels and Paris. And it'll go ahead and allow you to see those airports and the prices. We can also explore the price trends. So we can see if maybe, $1,500 is a good deal, or maybe it's a really bad deal. And this price graph is very helpful for that. The most important one is this dates section, where it says cheaper flights from 1,034 available on other dates. That's a savings of almost $500. All you have to do is hit see more, and it's going to give you this very handy table where you can go ahead and choose the different options. So for example, we have this $922 one, and it automatically refreshes for you. So that's the general information on how to operate with Google Flights. You do have an Explore map as well that allows you to look in general at the world and the prices. But if you know where you're going, all you got to do is search flights and you can look at it that way. That's all I have for you. Thank you for tuning